shattered to unbreakable. Listen here, sweet sister. Whether you think you have one little crack or you are shattered into a billion pieces, this podcast is going to give you the resources, tools, and skills to help piece yourself back together to form a beautiful, unique, solid, and unbreakable masterpiece. You are listening to Shattered to Unbreakable, the Reclaim podcast. Let's talk. Hello, welcome to another episode of Shattered to Unbreakable. I'm your host, Brandi Babin, and today I am talking to you about something that's been burning in my heart for a few years, and that is reclaim. It's reclaim. This came to me through the idea of this business. Honestly, was pushed on me by friends who believed in me more than I believed in what I was doing. So Reclaim was my journey to self-discovery. Reclaim was my journey to confidence. It was a rise out of the ashes, if you will. Many of you who know my story know that I was very confident as a teenager, a young adult. I was in a rough situation where I was reduced to suicidal ideation, where I just thought the world was better off without me. I surrounded myself with better people who believed in me and encouraged me, and I distanced myself from the people who did not. And that made me rise into this level of confidence. It helped me seek more knowledge about self-development, and I read and I listened to mentors, podcasts. I just soaked in all that I could about how to make myself more confident and rise out of this icky place, this pit. I started putting all of the things that really helped me into this one document. And I was like, I'm going to put everything here so I don't have to remember which book I got it out of. And so I just started everything that helped me, everything that really made an impact, the little tools here and there, the little ways of creating habits that really fit me, just little things. I just started compiling them into this Word document. And I was like, this Word document is going to change my life. And it did. I had the best year ever after this Word document was put together. And so I started sending it to my friends. People would ask me, how are you doing what you're doing in the situation that you're in? And I'm like, here's this Word document. It's everything that I've learned in the last 5 years, and it's how I've risen out of the ashes. And I did use the phoenix a lot. Like, this is my phoenix rising. This is how I rose. This is what gave me my wings of fire. And so I started handing it out. And the feedback I was getting from friends is like, you should publish this. This is great. And of course, I was like, oh, yeah, that's my 5-year plan, you know. And then I ended up joining a pageant. Some of you know this, Miss United States 2021. And I had promised on stage if they picked me as their queen, I would publish this journal. Whoa, did not expect to win. And then there was a fire under my butt to get this thing published soon. So within 3 months, it was published. It was on the market. I self-published, so it was on Amazon, but mostly on my website. And so this journal, which I'm told is more of a guidebook than a journal you would think of a book that has blank pages or lined pages and you just write free. You just freely write. This is not that. This is a guidebook. It's prompted journaling, and then it's also strategizing to have your best year ever. And so I took some of my inspiration from Darren Hardy. I took some of my inspiration from Mary Kay mentors that I had, from self-development books by Joshua Medcalf. And I just loved having all of these things in one space. And then that's what became the journal or the guidebook. So the Reclaim Guidebook is what that is now. There have been so many times throughout the last 3 years where I was like, God, I just don't think this is what I'm supposed to do. This is hard. And I don't know if I'm helping people. And I don't know if I'm a very good business person. I'm obviously not making any money. I lose money every year. I have no idea what I'm doing. And so every time that I'm in a place in my life where I'm like, I think I should quit this, Lord, and let other people who are better than me do it. Because there's so many out there. There's so many self-help journals. There's so many self-development gurus that speak, and they have podcasts and they have books, and they inspire people all over the world. There's plenty of them. They don't need another one. And every time I sit down in quiet time to say, God, I think I'm ready to give it up, he blatantly tells me no. Blatantly. In so many ways. Whether it's through a message from a friend saying, hey, I don't know if I ever told you this before, but that journal literally saved my life. What? Yeah, that's good to know. I didn't know that. And then I got another text just the other day saying, hey, you not only did you save my marriage, but you saved my life. Like I wouldn't be here today had it not been for your journal. And so I get those little God drops, those God bombs. Doesn't it feel like a bomb? The God just drops a bomb on you. And I get those little God bombs and I'm like, all right, I guess I have to keep going, but this is hard. This is hard. And I've been really reflecting and spending a lot of time with God and getting all the distractions out of my life. And again, he's just blatantly throwing this reclaim in my face. And I've renamed it the Reclaim Strategy. So it's the reclaimstrategy.com because it really is a full strategy to life. And what God has been presenting to me more so in the last few weeks than ever is this mirror work, like mirror, mirror on the wall. I do mirror work a lot, and I really didn't realize how important of a part of my life it was until I was sitting down with God and he's like, hey, what's the biggest thing? What's the biggest thing that's made the biggest difference in yourself, in your recovery, in your trauma recovery, in your healing, in your confidence building? What's the biggest thing? It's the mirror. It's what I say in the mirror. It's who I see when I look there. And it's always been a part of Reclaim, but it's just been a piece. I'm starting to feel like this needs to be a bigger thing. And so today, this is the start of season 7. I just decided that this morning because I'm going to do a whole series on mirror work. And I think it's really important. And I can't wait to share with you all of the things that have helped me. And I think it's really going to make a big difference because it's not just something in theory that you should believe about yourself. This is a step-by-step, day-by-day way of growing to love yourself and who you see. And that is the biggest thing. I was thinking back to when this all started, this reclaim journey. And I was thinking back to the moment in the pageant when I was on stage. And my ending line of everything I said, it was like my tagline, was because every woman deserves to look in the mirror and delight in what she sees. Simple as that. Every woman deserves to look in the mirror and delight in what she sees. I really believe that. And that's why I think every little 5 and 6-year-old little girl, when they look in the mirror, are delighted in their own reflection. They see a beautiful, capable princess who deserves to wear sparkly dresses and twirl about. And we were all that little girl once, and that's what irks me. It was stolen from us throughout life by experiences, by people, you've heard me say these things, but seriously, what happened? And I don't think it's fair. But here's what I do know is we can all reclaim it. We can all reclaim that sparkle and that delight when we look in the mirror, and I'm living proof of it. I used to look in the mirror and be like, holy cow, the world would be better off without this person I'm looking at. Gross. That's where I was. And now I can look in the mirror and say, I love you. Unconditionally, without a doubt, I love you. Every part of you. And I really mean it. And so I want all of you to be there. And so what I'm going to do is make this mirror, mirror, I love you movement a part of my reclaim strategy. And like I said, it's already there, but I'm going to amplify it. It's bigger now. And so I wanted to share a couple of things with you that you can do right away to start doing some mirror work. And the first thing, obviously, is you got to look in a mirror. Y'all, you got to just look, even if it's a glance. But I don't want you to look at your hair. I don't want you to look at your body. I just want you to look into your eyeballs, just the eyeballs. I just want you to look in the mirror and look into your own eyes. And it's going to be a little bit emotional. I've told you guys this before on previous episodes, but if you haven't heard it before, don't do it while driving. And maybe don't do it at work. Do it first thing in the morning or right before you go to bed. Right before you go to bed is my favorite because that's when the house is quiet. You're about to go to sleep and God can speak to you in your dreams, or he can speak to you right before you go to bed in the silence of your thoughts. Just look in the mirror and look right into your own eyes and see what comes up. It might make you cry. You might break down completely. You might not. You might just be like, this is weird and awkward. I don't want to do this. That's fine too, but do it. Just look in your own eyeballs. That's the first step. Starts with that glance. Let's just glance in the mirror. Step 1. Step 2 is you're going to need some realistic affirmations. This might be the next day or a couple of days later. First, don't say anything. Just get used to looking at your own self in the eyes. Do this until it feels okay. And then the next step is going to be realistic affirmations. Realistic, meaning you don't have to sit in the mirror and be like, you're beautiful, I love you, I believe in you, you're so confident. If that's not true, it's going to feel stupid, which is okay, but I want you to really believe. And so what you can say instead, state your intention instead of an affirmation, a realistic intention of affirmation. That's what we can call it. And so you look in the mirror and you say, I want to love you. Because maybe you don't right now. I want to think you're beautiful. Because maybe you don't right now, right? So that's where we're going to start. You're going to, first, the step one is to look in your own eyes. Okay, and just see what comes up. Then maybe the next day or 2 days later, I want you to look in the mirror and say, I want to think you're beautiful. I want to love you. I want to like you. I want to look in the mirror and say, wow, that person's incredible. Just state your intention. Whatever you want. What do you want when you look in the mirror? One day, what's your goal? I want one day to look in the mirror and just be delighted in that girl. All right. And then as your time goes by, you can change that more into what you truly believe. Like, okay, I really do want to start watching what I eat and work out. I do want to change my body shape. But right now I can appreciate that this body carried babies and this body is strong and this body is really good at hugs because it's squishy and comfy. And you can start saying what you do appreciate about your body now and then a goal that you have for the future. I appreciate that my body brought me through childbirth and that I'm a squishy, huggy, comfy mommy. But I think in 3 months, I would like to see a different shape start to form, or I would like to see a healthier body in the mirror. And you're not comparing yourself to other people. No, no, no. You know how I feel about comparison. You're only comparing yourself to yourself. The only person you're competing with is you. So I don't want you looking on Instagram or whatever at these bodybuilder bodies or beach bodies or bikini bodies. No, no, no. No, thank you. You're just competing with yourself. 3 months from now, you're going to take a picture 3 months from now. I just want this picture to show a different shape. I want it to show progress. I want it to show a healthier body. That's what I want. So start working on that as you're going along with these affirmations. And then the third thing is parts work. Now, this is pretty advanced. So I'm not expecting you to just dive in and know how to do parts work. But if you have a therapist, ask them about parts work or interfamily systems, I think it's called. If you can read books, there's books galore on this stuff and they're amazing. So look into books on parts work. But something I can tell you to just ease you into it that you don't need a professional for is to look in the mirror and imagine that 5-year-old self. Imagine you at 5, because you're going to talk to her differently and you're going to apologize to her and you're going to encourage her, right? So take some time when you're ready and talk to that 5-year-old or 6-year-old self, because you know what you went through. You and her. You are the only person who will have your back 100% of the time your entire whole life. You're going to be with you the whole time. So, you know your secrets, you know what you went through, you know your reality, your truths, your facts, your opinions, everything. You and your 5-year-old self went through it together. So you get to talk to her now. I love this exercise. I get to tell her that she was the Queen of America. And I just see her be like, what? I get to be the Queen of America. That's what my kids called me when I won the pageant. They're like, my mom's Queen of America. So it's fun to think about telling her those things. And then I tell her about the icky parts. Like, hey, I made some bad decisions. We went through a rough time. And I'm really sorry that you're going to have to go through this. And then I see kind of fear and disappointment on her face. And then I tell her, but we got out of it. And this is where we are now. And we have a podcast and we published a book and we have amazing friends and our kids are healthy, all these things. And then she's like, okay, all right. So we went through some but we got there. That is going to be a big piece. And I'm going to take you through so many fun little nuances about mirror work through the next few weeks. And it's going to be amazing. But I just took the kids to the movie Snow White, the new reel what is it called? Real live action Snow White. And there was something in a song that she sang that I thought was so beautiful, and something that her father told her. And she's looking in the water, which is what? Just another mirror, right? Seeing her reflection. And she's saying, I don't see anyone. And the message at the end, and the message her father is wanting to give her, is that you are everything that you've been wishing and waiting for. Look at that reflection. That girl right there in that reflection is the person that you've been wishing and waiting for. And in that movie, it's fearless, fair, and brave. I want you to pick your own words. You are that girl you've been waiting for, wishing and waiting for. You are the one. And then she was saying in one of her dreams, or she says, I dare to dream, and then I wake up and it's just me. And that's where a lot of us women are, is like, I dare to dream, and then I wake up and it's just me. It's just me again. And it's like this disappointed, like, this is who I am. This is my life. What happened? And that's where I can promise you with all of my being that it does not have to stay that way. That you can wake up and see that you are the one you've been waiting for and wishing for. You're her. You're the one. I believe that about myself and about you. And so I'm excited about this Mirror, Mirror, I Love You movement. This is the Reclaim strategy in a nutshell. It is beautiful. And so the next 48, because I only have 48 of them so far, the next 48 of you that buy a Reclaim journal, either for yourself or for someone else, Mother's Day is just around the corner. It's 2 months from now. Less than 2 months is Mother's Day. This Reclaim guidebook guides people to the best year ever of healing, recovery, self-discovery, confidence, and organization, productivity, your best year ever. The next 48 people who buy one of these guidebooks gets this really cute mirror with it. How precious is this? For those of you just listening, it is a really cute antique style gold hand mirror. And it's very enchanted looking, very enchanted. So this is my new little Reclaim Enchanted or Reclaim Enchantment. I don't know yet. Look at, you can see me. You got to watch the video on this one. Go to YouTube and watch the video because I'm playing around. It's kind of fun. But this mirror is so cute. The next 48 get this mirror with your Reclaim journal, guidebook, whatever it's called. So that is my message for you today. Start mirror work with me, would you? And see how it goes. This all started with some mirror work, falling in love with my reflection, just like I did when I was 5. And it's because I saw my daughter twirling in the mirror saying, look, Mom, I'm beautiful. Watch me. And I was like, yes, you are. I wish I could look in the mirror and feel that way about myself. And then I thought, you know what I did? I did once. What happened? And Reclaim was born out of that question. What happened? And I started investigating. And I found out how it left. And I found out how to get it back. And that's what I'm going to be teaching for the rest of my life. I love you. Stay sparkly, sweet sisters. We'll see you next week. Thanks for hanging out with us today. I just wanted to remind you about the resources we have on the reclaimstrategy.com. That is Reclaim University with free downloads. It's the Reclaim Guidebook, access to Kintsugi classes and events. So go ahead and take a look. Also, please share this podcast with anybody that you think might need to hear these messages. And if you haven't already and you think we deserve it, give us a 5-star rating. That just helps our reach. So I love you guys. Stay sparkly, and we will see you next week.